Good morning, Oklahoma, and welcome to Cow-Calf Corner. Well, in recent weeks, we've talked about a lot of topics that help us address and deal with drought and the continued high heat that plagues cattle and cattlemen across Oklahoma. Our title this week is Preparing for Winter. It's hard to believe as we tape out here in early October and it's still pretty warm that winter is just around the corner. But we're going to address things that are always important going into winter, and this particular year probably have a little more significance in certain cases. First thing we address is water. Water is the most important of our classes of nutrients. A clean and abundant water supply is absolutely critical. As we get into the freezing temperatures of winter, very low ponds are more subject to freeze over. And whatever we need to do to secure we've got ample water supply for winter, now is the time to be taking action and figuring out what that needs to be. Second topic of discussion is securing our winter hay and feed supply. We are critically short of growing days, and even if we receive some moisture at this point, the reality is the forage base we have on hand right now is the forage base we're going to have to go through the winter. Hay is already scarce. Prices, I would anticipate, while already high, are going to get higher as we move into the winter months. There are some programs to assist with trucking expenses on hay if we can secure some in other states that are worth checking with your local FSA office about. But the reality is we need to deal with the forage base we have and have those winter hay supply and feed demands met at this point, or be getting them taken care of in short order. If we don't have ample grass or hay, the third thing we address is that we're going to have to eliminate cow inventory or cull cows. Cow culling has been covered in recent weeks on Cow-Calf Corner. We can refer back to that in past newsletters or YouTube channels where that's available, but also the potential, as hard as it is to believe, there are parts of the country that have received moisture and have got some forage and grass. It may be possible to ship your cows into other regions, have some custom grazing done, and bring them back a few months later. If that is the case, I tell you to be aware of the trucking bill. With shipping costs being what they are right now, the shipping costs may exceed the actual cost of grazing. If you look at that, but eliminating some cow inventory may be a dire necessity at this point in the year as you assess your own ranch operation. Fifth thing we get to, also covered recently in Cow-Calf Corners, is just monitoring body condition on cows. If you've got cows that are thin right now as you wean, having lived through the summer that we've been through in Oklahoma, you may not want to put the feed resources into them, but now is the time to do it. It's more easy for those cows to recapture flesh when they're dry and get to an adequate body condition level prior to calving. And if we get that done right now, it's going to pay dividends on the breed back and the reproductive efficiency that we see going into next spring on our cow herds. I hope this helps, and thanks for joining us this week on Cow-Calf Corner.